Hi everyone, in this particular video I want to go a little bit break from normal kind of transmission, which is going to be about my COVID journey, the kind of stuff that I went through, the symptoms and the life that I had inside a hotel room for 2 to 3 weeks or so. So just to give you kind of like a background, I got a test done which was negative before I went on a shoot, and the shoot, I basically put it on the shoot. So, somebody gave it to me there. A large number of people ended up getting this thing. So my initial symptoms were kind of cold and flu sort, just for an initial, couple of days or so. But I didn't get them. I don't think I got them immediately after catching this thing. You tend to become symptomatic only after a few days. So during those few days, you could be spreading it if you're not careful. Obviously, if you're not masking up and you're not sanitizing yourself and everything that you've touched and everything around you and so on. So, and obviously that's what I was doing naturally. So with the initial symptoms of like having kind of body aches and pains and, I had a bit of a chest cough as well. Not in my throat, not in the dry cough or anything like that, which is one of the symptoms of COVID. But actually just having a bit of a chest cough and clearing phlegm and that kind of thing. I know, sorry, this is disgusting, I know. That lasted like a couple of days. That's it. And it was sporadic throughout the day. I would go through peaks and troughs of feeling a bit rough, and that's what it was. It was a bit rough. It wasn't like I'm completely knocked out by this thing at all. To feeling 100%. Literally felt totally fine. And it like I say, it went up and down, about 2-3 times a day kind of thing. First couple of nights, I was kind of kicking off the covers and feeling hot, feeling cold, feeling hot, feeling cold, and so on. And then literally everything just stopped. Everything went away. When I got my first set of symptoms, just to edge on the side of safety, got tested, and lo and behold, positive. So, knowing what these things can actually give you, knowing the symptoms of what this virus can give you, is the first step to protecting not just yourself, because you can then get relevant treatment, medication, and checking your oxy levels and things like that, but also making sure that you're not giving it to anybody else. That is your mission now. Make sure nobody else gets it from you. You've caught it from somebody else. Okay. All right. It happens. It's not a good scenario for anybody to be in, but your goal now is to make sure that you do not pass this on to anybody else. That is your single most important mission in life, is to make sure everybody else around you, your loved ones, your family, are safe and not catching this thing. So isolate, which is exactly what we ended up doing. So I then got a test done, obviously came up positive, and then started getting other symptoms. And the only other symptom really I got was loss of taste and smell. That was pretty much it. And I ended up, there was one or two other ones, I'll come to them in a minute. The loss of taste and smell was more along the lines of, it was gradual. Like first thing in the morning when I was having breakfast, they delivered breakfast to the room, so I obviously wasn't in contact with anybody. So I'm trying a sausage, and it's like, this is a bit bland, and this coffee's a bit weak. Okay, that's it. But that was morning. By afternoon, when I had an early dinner, literally I could taste nothing, not a single thing. So it was like everything was made out of like thick water, or you'd spray perfume on your arm or aftershave or something like that on your arm, and you smell that, and it literally you can't smell anything. It's like it doesn't exist. It's just like it's you're spraying water on your arm. You get a little hint of alcohol kind of thing, and that's about it. So I even went the extremes and tried to test exactly how much I could taste, if anything at all, by eating an entire packet of Nescafe coffee. This is not an endorsement of Nescafe, by the way. Ate that with a spoon, got the bitterness, that was about it. ate an entire lime with skin, the entire thing, got the bitterness. That's about it. A hint of that. Saltiness you could get, sweetness you could register, but flavor, nothing whatsoever. Absolutely zero. So I ended up just, testing myself throughout, the next few weeks of how much stuff I could actually physically taste. The hotel menu wasn't too bad. Obviously, they've got, local foods, because I was down in Kerala, so I had lots of kind of parathas and things like that, which was great. And the curries that they had also, I was ordering the spiciest things just to kind of get a hit, just to kind of get a taste of something. But I was even testing myself. Now, I hate olives. I detest the little things. The evil grapes. I hate them. And literally the flavor of it just makes me almost retch. And I ordered a pizza from the hotel, and they delivered this thing, and it was literally smothered with olives. And my initial revulsion went on to, okay, let's test this out. So I separated all the olives out, and I took them all off like I would normally do anyway. Ate my pizza, which I couldn't taste anyway. Again, little hint of, the saltiness or spice or whatever it was in there. And then took this kind of small handful of olives and literally ate the entire lot. And for anyone who knows me, that is a big deal because I hate that. Olive oil I'm fine with. I can stomach olive oil. I have no issues with olive oil. But olives on anything, in anything, I can spot. And they just make me like, no, sorry. And I ate them. The initial kind of like revulsion of the fact that I was actually eating these things subsided very quickly when I realized I could not taste them at all. So that's exactly how bad my taste and smell had got to, because it had just totally gone. And this is the weirdest thing, really, is the fact that when you actually lose your taste and smell, normally if you want to experiment and see what it's like to actually lose your taste, can't taste anything, you hold your nose and you can't taste anything, okay? But you've still got that pressure. You still know that once you release your fingers, it's going to go away. You also get this kind of like blockage at the back of your nose and the back of your throat. That sensation's there. With COVID, and you lose the taste and smell, you don't have that pressure. You don't have that block or anything like that. So you're walking around thinking that everything's normal, and your smell senses or your taste has literally just got to, you've accustomed yourself to your surroundings. Like if you walk into somebody's house, the first thing that you'll notice is the ambient smell of the place, whether or not they've cooked food or they've had coffee on or the air freshener that they've used or whatever, that kind of thing. So you think that I've just accustomed myself to this particular environment, so there's no kind of strong pungent smells or anything like that. But no, it's the fact that you can't smell anything. So it's a surprise when you eat something or you drink something that is supposed to have flavor on it that literally has got nothing there. It is very, very surreal. It's almost like a comedy of errors, to be frank. So that was like the biggest kind of major symptom that I got. Post that, I did end up having like a stuffy head. It went into my sinuses. My sinuses felt like they were being kind of bunged up a little bit, but that lasted like about a couple of days. And that was it. That was pretty much it. That's all I got for, and like I say, the taste and smell, now we are, like I say, I tested negative like 9 days back, and my taste and smell is now like 50%. I can have a strong coffee and I can still not taste it all like it. I remember it. Remember it, how strong it being. I ordered a pizza the other day, and there seems to be a theme here with pizzas with me. But I can't get all of it. I can't get all that flavor. I've got half a freezer full in there of vegetable soup that I made like a few weeks ago, and I had some on Saturday after I got back here, and again, I can't taste everything that I used to taste. So I think this is going to last another few weeks at least for my taste buds to kind of like rebuild themselves. But that wasn't the kind of main issue with this thing. The main issue was, and I'm saying this lightly, but it really wasn't. It was basically very, very stressful, was the fear. And you are constantly doubting your ability to self-diagnose, which really you should do, because self-diagnosis is not a good thing, because you're not an expert, you're not a doctor, so you get information from people who do know what to look for, and they are doctors, hence this stuff. Now what I've got here, and this is in no way what you should be taking, this is basically what I was told to take based on my symptoms itself. Vitamins, vitamin C tablets, and this one is doxycycline, which is a antibacterial, broad-spectrum antibacterial thing, and that was basically because of my chest, because I had a cough and stuff like that. And this is obviously just the residual stuff. I'm not taking this anymore. But here's the thing: even after this amount of and like paracetamol for aches and pains if you've got any kind of body pains. Didn't take any ibuprofen or anything like that. I took paracetamol only. The main thing though is the psychology of being stuck in that room for so much time. Thank God it wasn't like a space this big. Otherwise, I'd gone crazy, or more crazy than I actually did go. But it's waking up every day and going, right, okay, I need to check my oxy levels. So, all right, please, don't be below 94, don't be below 94, don't be below 94, don't be below 94, no, 96. There you go. So you're like, oh, thank God for that. And then you can go about your day. It's like, I don't need to put myself into hospital because my levels are all right. So I'm constantly, and this is the thing, I was checking this every 2 hours. Every 2 to 3 hours I was checking my levels. My, thermometer, also checking my, levels on that. I didn't feel like I was actually burning up or had a cold or flu fever or anything like that, but still checking it just to be sure. So that psychology of checking yourself was one of the most stressful things, and doing it every single day. And even now, after I've tested negative for over a week, so I had to do what was called reverse quarantine, which basically what meant that as soon as you test negative, you still have to isolate for another week, just in case there's any nasties inside you that you might pass on to somebody else that hasn't been picked up in the test, or because your immune system has taken a bit of a hit and you need to make sure that you're not coming into contact with anybody else because you might get sick. Basically sensible things to do. That was the biggest, oh God, come on, I just want to go home now, please. But looking back, it was the best thing to do. So now I've obviously traveled back to Hyderabad, and I'm still isolating myself for another week before I even contemplate actually venturing out into public or going into the studio or anything like that. So just in case of like anybody gives me anything nasty, like a bug, any general bug or anything like that, or if there's anything residual that I've got that I might have picked up on the aeroplane, because we were packed in like cattle. Seriously, it was very, very kind of tight and cramped, and I'm kind of like hugging the window seat, and there's this guy all fully dressed up in like PPE gear in the middle, and it was mental exactly how many people they shoehorned into that plane that day. Going down to Kerala, 20% occupancy. Very, very simple, very straightforward. And it was no problem whatsoever. But coming back, it was so many people in that place, it was crazy. So one would think that someone there is going to have something nasty, because they weren't asking for a negative PCR test or anything like that before you flew. which they really should be doing. I got one done just to edge on the side of safety 2 days before I actually flew, and negative also, naturally. But airlines should be doing this. It depends on the state. So state to state, here in India, one state is saying that you need to have an RT-PCR result of negative before they're allowed, even for you to check in. And other states are like, fine, no issues, come in. And my state's doing that, which is crazy. We're one of the biggest metros in the entire country, and they are literally just letting people in without any issues whatsoever. So I think that's nuts, to be frank. Anyway, so that was my journey, and my journey continues because I'm still going to stick here for the next week. So just ordering fruit and veg from outside, getting that delivered and stuff like that, and so I can just maintain myself for the next week or so. That's it. So that's been my journey. I'm still taking, obviously, vitamin C and the multivitamins and what have you to obviously kind of help boost your, my body's obviously taking a hit. The biggest thing though, oh wow. So I got back, and obviously the place is, because this apartment is right next to a construction site, like big construction site here in the financial district, and the place was literally completely full of dust, and cleaned up now, but still you still get some residual. But here's the biggest thing. So I spent the entire Saturday afternoon cleaning this place, and yesterday, which was Sunday, it's Monday now, just tidying up and reorganizing things and unpacking stuff and putting things back to where they need to be put, all unpacking all the kit bag and all that kind of stuff. And this morning when I woke up, I couldn't walk. I literally couldn't walk. I'm hobbling. I need a walking frame to actually be able to move, because my calf muscles have seized up. I've got cramp, and it feels like I've done a marathon. Not that I know what a marathon run feels like, because I'm, but literally I could barely move. Even, if I sit in one place like I have been now for like the last, whatever this is, 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that, 17 minutes, I will feel it when I stand up, because let's try. Okay, I'm going to try it. All right, excuse this. Oh, okay. Yeah. And it's the calf muscles. It's the calf muscles here, and it literally, it feels like so much, like I've got cramp. Like I've like, if you go to the gym for the first time and you do a lot on your calf muscles, the following day, that's the pain right now. And it's so fatigued my legs are. And here's the thing, it's like my legs and my calves have always been my kind of souvenirs from when I used to be a sprinter, and I used to go skating every weekend and stuff. So I was very, very active when I was a kid, and I used to do a lot of skating. So my calf muscles kind of stayed big throughout my adult life. And now they're just like worthless. I can't walk. I literally can't walk properly. So I've got to build back up. And here's the reason why. Because I was stuck in a hotel room for 2 to 3 weeks, and I wasn't exercising. That's it. That's the simple reason. And looking back, should I have exercised? Should I have, generated a sweat and worked out or stuff like that? Well, no, because you after speaking to a couple of people, this is not advice that I'm giving. This is advice that I'm relaying, which was like, don't overly exert yourself, because your system is already under stress because of the virus. So you don't want to really give it any more stress or anything like that. But now it's going to take a little bit of time for this to, rebuild itself. It's going to take about a week really. So I'm going to gradually build up into it, but nothing strenuous, because obviously my immune system is still building itself back up again. So that's it. Yeah. Comedy of errors. I'm hoping that everybody else's symptoms are as, mild as this compared to some of the reports that you see on the news, which are crazy. Best thing really to do is check your levels. All the doctors are basically saying the same thing. It's like, check your levels. Make sure that your levels are, if you go below, so one guy said if it goes below 3% of your baseline, then that's something to be, concerned about. Generally 94, 92 is the kind of threshold. If it goes below that, then you've got to concern yourself, because you should be around about 97, 98 kind of stuff. Mine went down to 94 once, and then went back up to like 96, 97. So that gave me a scare. That was yesterday. That was even yesterday. The other thing we've got in these things, I'm going off tangent slightly, but the other thing that's going on with these things is that if you wake up and you take the test immediately, and you've got the AC blasting, all your blood is basically going to go out of you. You've got your arm outside the bed kind of thing. Your arm is basically going to have less blood oxygen in it. So when you take it, it's like 84. Oh, God, no. You just sit up, warm yourself up and stuff, and then take it again, and it'll be back to its normal level. So just, depends on where you take it. If you're sitting like this with your arm on a table, for example, you can block the circulation to your finger, which will affect the result. So you've got to be in a neutral kind of position and then take the thing. Just relaxed. Don't hold your breath. Easy breathing. Just. And then take it. So that's what I was, fretting about the most, was this thing. So anyway, be safe. Look after each other. And, mask up, please, still. I got back, and the amount of people here who are not wearing masks properly is beyond scary. Compared to what I saw in Kerala. And I know Kerala's cases are going up, but every single person is wearing a mask, and I think 99.9% are wearing it properly. Full nose cover, mouth cover, everything. And even from the richest man to the common man are wearing it neatly. I got back here, as soon as I got inside the airport, it's like this thing was a joke, which is scary. It's totally scary. I don't know why people are so lax about this thing here. It's nuts. It's like it doesn't concern them. It's like it won't affect them, which is rubbish, because this thing does not discriminate. It doesn't favor one over another. You're gonna get it through negligence from your side or from somebody else's side. Be safe, please. Trust me when I tell you, even though my symptoms were mild, you don't want this. Trust me, you don't want this. The guy, one of the stereographers who was in the room next door to me, he got it as well. His wife got it as well. He was laid up fully for 3 weeks, to a point where he was like barely conscious because of the amount of medication that he was on. CT scans, because they were worried about his lungs and everything. So, and we were, within the same zone. We would have caught the same variant, the same virus. It's just look at the draw that he got it worse than I did. And I'm not the healthiest person on the planet in any way, shape or form. He is well more healthy than I am. So it was a total dice roll. I could have been in that scenario. I could have been worse. That's the scary thing. So just be safe, please. And here's the last thing. If you do get it, touch wood, you don't. But if you do get it, and, again, touch wood, you recover, everything's great. The Telangana government are actually doing a plasma drive. So I've registered to donate plasma for anybody who has COVID-19 who needs plasma donation. So unfortunately, I can't do it for another week or two because either my immune system has to build itself back up again, or my number of antibodies need to build up, or something like that. But they've told me that I need to wait another week or so. And I've obviously registered my blood group with these guys and my contact details and everything like that. So anybody who does, catch this nasty thing and gets over it, register for plasma donation, because you've managed to get through this thing. Other people may not without your help. And this is a serious plea, because the cases are going up, and trust me when I tell you, you don't want this. Okay? You really don't. People are dropping dead because of this thing, and it scared the crap out of me that I could be one of them, and I could be leaving my wife and daughter. You don't want to go through that, and you don't want any of your loved ones to go through that either. Okay? So help out as best you can. Mask up. Sanitize everything that comes into your house and you come into contact with, because it could be on anything. The lift button, your door handle. It could be on the fruit and veg that you've picked up and gone, no, I don't want that. It could be on that. You don't know. It could be on the milk packet that you pick up. If you do get it and you recover, hope to God that you do, register for donating your plasma so you can help somebody else who is going to be in a worse situation than you. That's it. Thanks, guys. See you later.